Well, hello there, and welcome back to the Chap'S Guide. I'm Ash, the curator of this channel, and today you join us at the top of the big wheel in the wonderful, fantastic Dutch city of Maastricht. So I'll just flip the camera around, you can see where we are. There we go, look at that. And at the moment, there is a remarkable Christmas market taking place in this wonderful city, and we are just availing ourselves of all of the chap type activities that are here to undertake. So I'm here today with my longtime friend and collaborator, John.
Good morning.
We'll be showing you a bit more about the city of Maastricht in this Chap's Guide to Maastricht, and we'll perhaps sit down when we get back down to terra firma and talk about some of the things we've seen and experienced here. It's an absolutely fantastic city. Not the first time we've been here a few times on business. Today we're just here on pleasure, on our way to another business meeting in a different part of the Netherlands, and we couldn't not come to Maastricht while we were in town. So yeah, wonderful, wonderful city and a spectacular view. I'll just show you again perhaps some of the highlights. There we go. Look at that. Oh, and down we go. Okay, there we are. We'll speak to you again in a moment when we get landbound. Hello folks, and welcome back. We are now on terra firma, and just going to give you a little bit of a summary of Maastricht and talk about our experiences so far, what we've seen, whether it should be a place that you should put on European list to go and visit. So just to give you an idea of where we are, and I'll put a map on the film so you can see where it is. Maastricht is in the southwest part of the Netherlands. Southeastern part of the Netherlands. My map reading is not great, and it's quite very far from the main part of Holland that everybody normally visits, which is, you know, the big conurbations like Amsterdam, The Hague, Rotterdam. That's all there over towards the UK on the sort of western side. Here in the southeast, it's 3 hours train travel across country to get here from Amsterdam, which is actually quite convenient and very inexpensive. I think it only cost us 27 euros yesterday to go from Amsterdam straight off the aircraft onto the train, and it brings you all the way across to Maastricht, normally without any changes, so quite easy to get to and very inexpensively. So Maastricht itself is not a huge city, but it is the capital city of the Dutch province of Limburg, which has quite a large metropolitan population. I think it's over 3 million, but the city itself isn't that big. You know, it's very compact and very small. So as I say, I'm traveling here today with my good friend John. We've known each other for more than 20 years. We've worked for the same business for a large amount of that time. And we've been here before, but, you know, John, what do you think of Maastricht? What's your experience?
Well, it's my favourite European city. We've been here, this is the third time we've been here. The first time we've managed to come here when the Christmas markets are on, which was always the intention for this particular trip, because they've been setting up the last 2 times we came, and it always looked like it would be a very Christmassy thing to visit, but unfortunately we'd missed it by a couple of days. So we timed this one specifically to coincide with all of the Christmas festivities. Some of the locals told us that in December Maastricht can be quite crazy, and we thought, well, no, it's a very laid-back city. But when we arrived yesterday, which was Sunday, and as we were walking from the train station through to our hotel, which takes you through the middle of the quite compact city centre, the main squares, there were a lot of people about. However, the one thing that you will notice about Maastricht is it's very laid back. You don't have people bustling into each other, you don't have people walking along looking at their mobile phones. It's a family orientated city, very cool, effortlessly cool. If you can imagine all of the chicness of what you would probably associate with Paris, with the relaxed attitude maybe of what you would expect to see somewhere like Amsterdam, but with a little bit of the class and coolness of Rule Britannia, then you won't go far wrong in defining what Maastricht is like. The reason I like it so much here is because it has this utterly effortless, laid-back, chic coolness. Nobody's looking down their nose at anyone. When you go out drinking in the evening, it's a very festive, relaxed atmosphere. Lots of different generations in the same tiny little bars, sipping their thimblefuls of beer, and no trouble at all. It's a place that you could easily walk across in the middle of the night and not have any concerns whatsoever that you're going to be accosted in any way, shape or form. It is quite simply the perfect little city.
Yeah, I mean, I second all of that, John. I mean, it was quite an eye-opener. I mean, we came here on business, I think, in 2015 to attend a conference. And, you know, Maastricht, never really thought about the place. It's kind of famous because it's where the European, or the Maastricht Treaty was signed, of course, which was the inception of the European Union. All a bit in history now, but it is a wonderful, wonderful chic place. And as John says, you know, the word cool, I don't think does it justice. It's effortlessly stylish. There's lots of little boutique shops here, you know, lots of, I mean, I think we've passed 4 shops where you can go in and have your clothes tailored. Now, I live in a city, a town of 90,000 people. I can't find a tailor there because people tend not to dress that stylishly. Here, you know, you walk past artisan tailor shops where people are working on tailoring and things like that. So it gives you an idea that people here are very stylish and cool. And, you know, it's very high end. You know, there's a Rolex authorized dealer. I saw a Patek Philippe shop. You know, if you like high-end products, I'm sure you could do a lot of damage to your credit card here. But it's just got a really nice feel. And as we're talking, I'll put some photos across the video so you can see some of the wonderful little sights and sounds. And it's, you know, incredibly well lit with Christmas lights. It gives it a real, you know, the word festive comes to mind all the time when you think about this place, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And with the Christmas markets, it's not like the ones where you're walking around where there are people who are stumbling around drunk. It's not like that at all. With a lot of these European countries, you have this entirely different attitude towards going out and having a night out. Last night, Sunday night, we went to some of the smaller bars down, like a lot of these old cities, they're medieval cities, so you have little alleyways where you have tiny little hole-in-the-wall bars and restaurants. We went into one at random. It was very, very full of people who are clearly professionals in their middle age, having a great time on a Sunday night around 8-9 o'clock at night, which you wouldn't get at home because they have to get up for work in the morning, but they also know how to enjoy themselves. Leisure is a big deal here. Unfortunately, we've got to the stage where we go home at the end of the day, pull up the drawbridge, turn on the television, and we then miss out on a lot of the options that will be available to us. Here, they've gone completely the other way. People will not be at home watching TV. They'll be out enjoying the sights, whether it's walking with their family, whether it's going to the Christmas markets here, or whether it's going to have a nice leisurely meal or a nice drink. And then at the end of the evening, there's no trouble. They go home and you have a very relaxed atmosphere as a result of it. And it makes it a pleasure to go out and talk to people, and people will engage with you. Even though we are in a foreign country, the universal language here is English. It's a university town. All of the lessons are in the medium of English, and people will instantly and very ably adapt to the English language when they're talking to you. It does shame us somewhat. We were on the train yesterday as we were coming through, and the train conductor was coming through checking the tickets. He spoke to us in perfect English, using a little bit of slang as well as he was talking to us. Then he spoke to the people next to us who were Dutch, and then behind us were a German group of people, and he instantly segued into very fluent German, and this is the train conductor. So it is a country of complete cosmopolitan attitude and language, and so you're not going to find yourself unable to ask for something or feel a little bit concerned. We were in a bar. I seem to be referring back to the bars, but they are the epicenter of most places, and we saw a drink being served to people which had 2 different colours within it, and it's called Süß, and it's a combination of the lighter Pilsner beers with a splash of the dark beers on top of it, and all you need to do is ask, and we then will be having one of those tonight.
Yeah, and it's a very medieval city. You probably heard the chime of the clock. We're just outside the cathedral, and it's a walled medieval city, steeped in heritage. It's right, you know, if I've showed you the map, but right on the borders of Belgium and Germany. So, as I say, John has said, it has a very cosmopolitan feel to it, and because of that, I think because it shares that heritage of these different countries, this is why they use English as their sort of common denominator language, which makes it ideal for the British traveller. And the other thing is, it's not that easy to get to. You know, it doesn't have its own airport. The nearest sort of significant airport is in Aachen in Germany, which is still 100 kilometers away. So it's not like many people can nip in here for a weekend and zip away. It does still have that slight hint of exclusivity if you're British, because you've got to make a bit of an effort to get here, which I think makes it a little bit more special as well. You know, if you were bumping into stag groups and hen parties, for me it really deflates the balloon when it comes to the enjoyment factor. But for sure here, you know, it's got classiness which is endemic of these sort of medieval European cities, and it's certainly somewhere where I would recommend you go. So we're going to keep walking around. I'll take some photos, take some footage, I'll stick that onto the video as well. And in fact tomorrow we're heading off for some business but a bit more pleasure in the Dutch city of Utrecht. Now, I've never been there before. I don't think you have, John, either?
No.
So we will also give you a little bit of an insight into our views around Utrecht. That's about 2 hours on the train again back towards Amsterdam. So we're heading back to our sort of departure point, because we're flying back to the UK in 2-3 days. But we'll keep you updated on that, and we look forward to that. So I hope you've enjoyed this little jot through Maastricht, and it'll give you an insight of a potential place that you might go on your journey to being the best chap that you can be. So thanks for listening. We'll speak to you again very soon.